And we're back. So, after a nice night's rest, Toby and the gang have gotten their wounds patched up, and while we were getting ready, having a little bit of breakfast and all, before heading out, Toby went on over to this Sylvanus over here. If you remember, before, we had tried to get access to the upper levels, but failed at that for some reason or other. And this time, Toby gave it another go and managed to swindle access out of them. So now we just have to tell these guys that she said we could go in.
Declare yourself.
And that's what we're going to do. We'll be heading on back here. And just sort of checking out the area. That's one of the reasons, anyways.
Eddie, citizen.
The other is the fact that that ghost kid had mentioned the person who has his dolls around here. But we found our way into what's effectively a fighting pit, it seems. Actual combat between men and beasts, eh? Feel free to join in the viewing balcony above. I see. So when's your next match? Very soon. Okay, I'll be on my way then. We're not about to lecture them about it being illegal. Heaven forbid. No, no, no. For one thing, Toby's not exactly the moral high ground type, if you catch my meaning, so...
If I may have your attention once again, gentle folk of Athkatla,
these people can enjoy what they like, as far as we're concerned.
Proud to provide for your amusement once again. Bring your attention to the pit as we see two combatants fighting for their very lives.
With the exception of, like, slavery and kidnapping Imoen and such, that is. Obviously.
I trust all bets have been placed. Very well. Begin.
Alright, let's give her a watch.
Fight. This is inhuman. How can you suffer this to continue? How can you?
You will fight because you are a slave and you have been told to fight. Refuse and be devoured for the amusement of our guests.
We will force this man to fight. Justice is cried for here, Toby. Cannot sit idly and allow this to continue. Perhaps it is, but at the moment, Animate, we need access to this area. Perhaps we shall come back and deliver them their justice at another time, but I'm afraid that time is not now.
Yes, to the task at hand.
In any case, Toby is going to continue to poke around here and see what's what. And that's enough poking around to be done up
Nature's
there.
servant awaits. It is done.
For now, everyone just hang out over there while Toby does his explorinating. Now, backed up here. And we should actually check our journal. Just to make sure about this. Let's see. The Copper Coronet rooms. We have illegal shit going on back there. Umar Hills. Imsvale, that's the place we're gonna be going this time. So, remember that. Also, this child's spirit... we have to find his little stuffed bear for him. And a thief named Lilness is responsible and has that what's it? No. What do you
Life's
need
been
to
getting prickly on me eyes.
just some idiot sleeping with someone who isn't his wife. That's nice. Got to be honest, Toby doesn't really care about the sex life of the nobles inhabiting this place. And let's not rob this guy right in front of him. I didn't even notice you were there. Sorry. So now, sleeping dwarf. No. And that'll be him right there. Time for a little intimidation tactic.
I need a swig of some strong dwarven ale.
Ah! Oh, me pardons. I thought you were that bloody ghost again. Again, you've been visited by a ghost before. Suppose we'll just play dumb for now. Oh, unfortunately, a ghost is sometimes haunting me. Terrible, frightening thing that is. And why would a ghost be haunting you? Oh, I don't know. Can't say for sure. Excuse me, but this does be me private room. Could you please leave? And this ghost that's haunting you, they wouldn't be haunting you because it is a little boy you murdered and robbed, would it? Hand over his bear, now, and I won't have to carve you up into little bits for being a despicable child murderer. You're here to retrieve his bear? I think I have it around here somewhere. Yes, let me take a look. Oh, here it is.
No, I can carry nothing else. Your item is on the ground.
Give that to the little bloody bastard and tell him to stay away from me. Yes. As much as Toby... Let's see. How would Toby approach this? Let's see. On the one hand, this guy did kill a child. But on the other hand, I don't feel like Toby would want to murder him in cold blood. Because, let's be honest, everyone Toby's killed so far, since we set out in Baldur's Gate 1, everyone he's killed so far has been in self-defense, at least to some degree. They've all attacked first. So, I don't think he'd be able to bring himself to just straight up murder someone. I'll spare your life, but don't let me catch you around here again. Alright, I'm going. Just let me collect me things here. Now... Yoshimo, why don't you... That's too midnight, Yoshimo.
I can dance on the head
Yoshimo,
of a pin as well.
get up
Yeah,
here
I wouldn't dream of
so that
refusing.
I can give you some stuff. Time for a bit of inventory management. And then, once we're done with that... Once Yoshi is done with this... Just hand over a few items to him to clear out the inventory a touch. And there was this ransom note from last time I didn't read. About that lady that we found locked up by Mr.'s bury man alive in cemetery. We will honor your demands in exchange for the release of the Lady Elgia. As per your request, I will meet you in front of the Copper Coronet after nightfall, and I will bring the ransom. Wilther. So, maybe if we meet up with him, we can either tell him things are resolved, or swindle the bastard out of a bit of coin. Whichever works. Also, some loot there to take.
Whatever I can do to help.
And now, I think we're done back there, at least for the time being. We might come back and check that out. And, I don't know, maybe see if there's any sort of dueling pits or something that Toby could participate in.
That time or not, but you asked a question of me, and I brushed it aside. I would speak of it now, if you still wish to hear.
Yes. Well, I did not wish to press you for information, if you wish to remain silent or if it was a personal matter. I did, but it is not important enough to keep aside. I would rather such things be talked of openly. I know much of you, but you know little of me. You asked what made me seek the Harpers or similar service. I was made aware of what had come before, and what still happened outside of the forests. I came to the Druids after my family died during a king's fall. No, I am not royalty, nor do I grieve. I do not feel their loss in that way. But I was angry that a life was taken from me, even though I still live. It had happened far from the grove, but I brought the conflict there in my manner. I decided that the balance needed help beyond the forest. It would eventually fail there as well. Simple reasoning, I suppose. I don't know why I didn't wish this known. Maybe I thought such a history was unimportant by the standards of others, as, well, such as yourself. Yes, you're more of a person when you have a history to hear up. Perhaps you think of that as a weakness, but I most certainly do not. I thank you for those words. I find myself drawing strength from you in our close quarters. It has been great help. I'm sorry, we should continue on. Huh, it's rather interesting. Not quite sure what happened there, honestly. Game just decided to go all freezy on me for a second. Lovely as always. Of course.
Of course.
And, well, it's night out now, so I don't think we're going to be going off to sell anything. Well, hold that thought. There's this storekeep right here.
I can likely provide, I assure you.
So, let's sell off what we can here. Okay, that's all the selling for now. We have a bunch of spells, which I'm going to have to see which of them Nalia can learn before we go anywhere. And the ones she can't learn, well, obviously get sold. So, we'll just pass off all the scrolls we have to Nalia. Well, all the ones she can hold. Lesser Earth Elemental check. We already have Disintegrate, so yeah. Let's identify as many items as we can. Longbow +1. Nalia uses a short bow, so that's fairly worthless to me. But let's check. Does she have any skill with crossbows? Because otherwise I'll sell that. No, she doesn't. So we can sell off that. First. Can't I do those? Let's acid arrows again. We'll just store a bunch of this stuff on Enemon, I think. It's largely not going to get used, or going to get used pretty sparingly. So, you can hold on to them for now, at least until I can manage to get a bag of holding or something. But Nalia has some stuff we're going to want to sell now. That piece of red cloth was a quest item from something a while back that we have no need to do anything with, so just drop it. For now, we'll see what Nalia can identify for us. She is our look at item, identify item type person at the moment, after all. And those are a couple of items we need her to identify, but she's not going to be able to just yet. Alright. Spell turning check. Protection from normal weapons. That's right, she already has Disintegrate. I'll give her those. Yeah, I do what you can for me, Nalia. Not the ring, unfortunately, or the amulet. Those bolts. Boots of Avoidance. +5 versus missile weapons. I think we want to give those to Toby. He had some really nice boots at the end of Baldur's Gate 1, but unfortunately, we ain't got those no more. Okay. That's all the identifying we are going to be able to do.
And oh yes.
So let's temporarily head back to the storekeep. and
This is
sell
the
off
land
what
of merchants,
items we
good friend.
can.
A veritable paradise for those with coin.
Let's sell what we can. The bolts are all going away because we have no need for bolts or crossbows right now, but I'm keeping all my arrows. Because arrows. As we can actually make use of them for something, essentially. Goodbye disintegrate spell, we don't need because Nalia already has it, and goodbye light crossbow, since we have nobody who uses crossbows. Bolts of biting can also go away. That's all the selling we're going to want to do for now. So it's time for us to head off out of this district. We're done in here. And in fact,
Good to see a like-minded friend.
as I was saying, before the crazy guy interrupted, we're done in the city for now, because we're heading off to Immersvale, or whatever the hell it was called. In the Umar Hills. Gonna take us a while to get there, but that's our next destination, as we have that quest to do. I mean, they did ask for help after all. And 20 hours of travel to get here. Nice. I should have probably gone to the graveyard to see about that kid, but I'm trying to avoid whoever it is that lady wants us to be speaking to in the graveyard at night until I get closer to wanting to progress the main story, because I get the impression that that's sort of another option to the Shadow Thieves for how to progress things. And I want to avoid that for the time being. Because we could technically go off and advance things now. We had the 20,000 gold, but I have a feeling that we want to have a good deal better equipment than what we currently have. So, first of all, I'll need to go and do a lot of shopping to upgrade our gear. And secondly, I want to finish as many side quests as I can. That's kind of a metagaming perspective, but I'm playing this game blind, remember, so I want to experience as much of it as I can before I move on to the next part of the game. Anyways, deaths in the Umar Hills. People are disappearing in large numbers. Speak to Minister Lloyd, the village mayor. Okay.
Onward then.
Let's see what's going on with the gathering over here.
When is this crisis going to be solved, eh?
Aye, me and mine need to get back to herding, we do, for the wolves have gobbled me flock entire.
Calm down, everyone, please. I assure you that everything that can be done is being done.
And that would be Minister Lloyd, from the sounds of it, trying and failing to reassure his people that he's doing everything he can. And when is that? Aye, you just hired a group of those adventurers, didn't you? Where in the abyss are they? Well, they haven't come back yet, no. Oh, we're doomed. doomed. We must flee the village. We must flee before more people go missing. Now, people, come. This is no time to panic. Please, listen to my husband. Yes, well, we are looking for another group of adventurers here to handle the situation. To kill them ogres and evil kin, you mean? Yes, ever since that band of monsters moved into the area, we have had nothing but trouble. They're eating people, that's what. You're both daft. 'Tis the wolves that have been wandering the hills, sure enough. Hungry they is. It's not wolves, you fool. It's Umar herself, returned to haunt us and steal our children. Umar, don't be telling that folk tale now. Can't you see it's the ogres, plain as the truth? People, please. We must first find out what happened to our ranger, Morella, and then track down the source of these murders. More adventurers will come soon. Well, they can't come soon enough. Well, lucky for you, we're already here, so we can just get started with this. You best be doing something, Mayor, or we need to be fleeing to the city for our safety. I am trying to do something. Everyone remain calm. Panic will not help. I am going to return to my home now. Everyone go home, please. Yeah, I get the feeling that isn't going to go over well with the locals. Still, we'll just have
I have nothing you wish.
Word around and see if anyone has any more information for us or additional quests. What is it you want, stranger? Just what is going on in this village anyways? I'll tell you what's going on, my lord. The wolves that have been in the hills these past years are coming at us, they are. For weeks now, they've been preying on us. Sneaking into the village at night and tearing people apart. Then their bodies disappear the next night. 'Tis a gruesome sight, to be sure. I've seen them too. Them wolves look at me from afar with smarts in their eyes. 'Tis the truth. The rest of the village is full of fools. Them ogres. I seen them and they ain't so bad. And the Umar stuff is nothing but a load of nonsense. Why would wolves come back to take away bodies a day later, though? That doesn't make much sense. Don't rightly know. Ain't nothing natural, that's for sure. They just seem to up and vanish as far as I can tell. And nothing's been done to hunt them down? Bloody Mayor hired a halfling runt and her troop to find out what's been happening. They haven't come back. Wolves ripped them apart, is my guess. And what do you know about these ogres? Just to sort of cover all our bases. They used to belong to that big rebel army down in the south of Deserters, likely. Seen them on my patrols. Don't look like they're up to anything. Led by a big ogre fellow, Madolf, I think. Wants to be left alone. The fact that he'd talk first rather than kill you makes him not the worst sort in my books. And you mentioned something about Umar. I can't say I'm familiar with that particular local superstition. Care to fill me in? Just a load of bull it is. You wants to know about Umar? Go talk to Vicenzo at the inn. He loves to talk out of his arse, he does. Okay then, I'll be going. On your way then, stranger. We don't need any more trouble here, that's for certain.
Something you need?
To the
Yeah.
task at hand.
You can tell things are not in the best shape around here. And I don't know if it's ogres or wolves or this Umar, but there is something deeply wrong in this place. That's for certain. And we're just going around talking to everyone because information. Greetings to you, stranger. Why the long face? My love is Coletin. Her father is a wizard of no small power, and possessed of considerable bias against me. His name is Jeremin, and I understand he intends to use Colette as a bargaining tool for some wizardly endeavor of his own. Against her will, I imagine, although I've had no chance to ask her opinion. I know she wants to go with me, I know it, but her father will have none of it. He intends to go to great lengths to keep us apart. Oh, woe is me. Yes, perhaps I could speak to her father about you. And while I'm there, have a word with Colette myself to make sure this isn't of her own free will. It would be of no use, I am sure, and I do not wish to use violence in such an endeavor. I do not appreciate its taste, and no doubt Jeremy would crush me with magic. You're kind to offer your assistance, but there is no helping me, I think. Leave me to my sorrow, please. Well, if we ever do run across this Jeremy fellow, then I'm sure we can address that. Sir, my name is Durbert, and me and my friends here want to be adventurers like you, real strong and powerful like. Yeah, I want to be a ranger and protect the village. I want to be a great warrior like me dad. I knows we can, but everyone says we're all too young and all. Bull, that's what I says that. Bull, that's what I says to that, rather. And you're already an adventurer and all. I was hoping you might maybe buy some swords for us, some bastard swords. And some ale. Durbert, don't forget the ale. Yeah, we wants to be real men. Swords and ale, and if we give you money, sir, would you buy us some? This is just an excuse for them to get drunk and go off and get killed, isn't it? But Toby's not about to deny someone alcohol. I'll buy you ale, but you just cut yourself with a sword. No, we wouldn't. We know how to use swords, but if you'd buy us some ale, that'd be super. Here's some gold we've saved up for it. Aw, this bites. I wanted a sword. But your mod'd sure be mad if you hacked off an arm. Me, I want the ale. Sissy.
These trees and
I think we can deal with that.
Watch your backs.
You're a stranger.
Nobody in this town so far has had any useful information for us, honestly. So, we're going to speak to the mayor and see if maybe he has something worth a damn to tell us. Seeing as nobody else bloody has so far. My hopes aren't that high, to be frank. Or, sorry, did I say mayor? I meant minister. And there he is, so, hello, minister.
Hello. I don't recognize you. You must be new to Innisfail. Is there something I can help you with?
We come because the little boy Dillon said that there was evil here in need of a butt kicking. And good for us that we have our boots on. Yes, sir. Minsk, would you stop it? You're embarrassing us. You did? Then the boy did get to the city after all. Ah, I am pleased to hear it. You have come to our aid then, yes. Well, before I make any specific agreements, I would like to know more about what's actually been going on. Yes, of course. It's a gruesome business. I'm sure that little Dylan told you some of the story, but I should elaborate on it for your benefit.
We've had a run of killings and disappearances here as of late.
People murdered in their beds, their bodies disappearing. Bodies found with the skins inside out. Ugh. Well, that's rather gruesome, to put it lightly. Normally we would turn to our local ranger protector to aid us in a time like this, but our ranger, Morella, has vanished. Several men went to her cabin southwest of the village, and they found no sign of her. It is not like her to be absent so long. I fear the worst. Soon after, shepherds and farmers from the outlying holes began disappearing. People heard strange noises at night, and we have no ranger to turn to. Everyone's frightened, but they're scared to leave as well. They're scared to leave as well, lest they get caught out in the wilderness by whatever's been doing the killing. And of course, everyone has ideas on what's behind all of this. It's the Ogres, my husband. You know it is. My wife, Aina. And yes, many people think it's that group of Ogres who moved into the area just before the killings began. Likely is, too. They're in the hills, too close to the village, I say. Yes, you can find them in the hills a bit north of here. Of course, others think it's a pack of very large wolves, and it's been ranging the hills for some years. And still others claim Umar herself, the Great Witch of the Hills, has returned. Legend has it she was responsible for deaths much like these ones. Faw. That is just old legends. Umar's been gone for over 500 years, my husband. Yes, true. I suppose I should warn you. I've already hired the famous knight, Mazzy Fenton, and her troop, but they haven't been back. I don't know much about this Umar. It sounds like some kind of evil magic. Perhaps this ogre is a powerful mage? It's a possibility we shouldn't ignore. Wolves? Ogres? Witches? Oh my. It is too much for Minsk's poor head to comprehend. Which of these are evil? The edge of my sword shall find the truth. To be honest, I think you should check on the ogres and their fellows before chasing after legends and such. So, will you help us? Yes, I will make the attempt. Oh, most excellent. Please, my lord, go to Marilla's cabin and find where she has gone. My men are too frightened to go that far from the village. Her cabin is west of the village in the valley. It should not be hard to find. There are other, older cabins in the hills, abandoned for many years. Or go north from here to the river and find that Madoff and his beasts. I have little doubt they are responsible for all of this, but we must be sure. I am relieved you have decided to help us. You have the run of the village, my lord. If you need anything else, do not hesitate to come to me. Oh, most glorious day. One step closer we come to being true heroes. Yes, indeed. Even little Boo's fur stands on end from his anticipation. Okay, then.
Ready and onward.
So we have our suspects and we have our directions.
To the task at hand.
They're missing Hunter to the west and the Ogres and their friends, no doubt gnolls, to the north.
I wouldn't dream of refusing.
Hold. You're a half-elf, but you're not of human village. Why you come? What you're wanting? Yes, I want to know why you're killing the people of this village, if you are indeed, as so many of them seem to suspect. We know kill no humans in village. We no want trouble with yous. And how exactly do I know that you're telling me the truth? Or am I supposed to just take your word for this? Always Madoff and fellows be chased and hated, 'cause me an ogre. You just want to be left alone, and come here 1 moon ago. Tries to settle for a while, yes? Soon after we come, fellows begin to vanish. 1, 2, they go. Some turn up killed. Skin missing. Some bodies vanish too. Madoff know who killing us. Madoff worried. Numbers get smaller. We like here, but something bad is here too, killing us fellows. Very bad. Interesting. Very interesting. So, it's not just the humans and the fellows in the village whose people are vanishing and turning up with missing skin and such. It's these ogres too. So, I think we can say with I think we can say with a fair degree of confidence that rules them out as suspects. And they say that something is killing their people. Who do you think it is, then? I mean, you must have suspects. Adolf knows. Maybe wolves, maybe bad magics. Nobody see what kills fellows. Comes at night, though. Maybe it's the shadows. I see. So your band is no better off than the village at this moment in time, then. Wait, you not attack us? We need to bring word to human village. Humans run when Madolf goes. So me needs yous to do it for me. Yous brings word, yes? I think I can deliver a message for you, yes? What do you want me to tell them? Madolf no want death, Madolf no want fight, just want peace. You tell villagers maybe that Madolf and fellows will protect village? Protect from orcs in mountain, yes? Humans let us stay then, and no call nights? Maybe let us come once in a moon to trade for food and goods? Madolf make deal with village. If Hughes tells them, we no want trouble. Alright then. I can tell the mayor what you proposed, but I can't promise that he'll be willing to agree. Madolf happy. Madolf, maybe fellows can live alone and eat good, be happy here. You do good thing. Maybe humans agree. Madolf keep deal, you tell them. Alrighty. So, a potential deal between the ogres and the villagers. Maybe this will end with us establishing a peace of sorts between the two, because it's pretty obvious that the two groups do not get along in the slightest. If we could do something about that, that would be really nice. And not only fix this murder thing, but also a little bit of ogre-human diplomacy in the process.
Lady Jahira, it seems quite strange to me that a woman of clearly noble past would choose the life of an adventurer. What has brought you to this dangerous path?
It is a path of conscience. Some druids choose a contemplative lifestyle, but I sought a more active role in the furthering of nature's cause. And you? Did you become a priest of Helm only for honor and glory?
Of course not. The righteous path ever beckons. 'Tis merely a dividend of the order, as a member can make a place for himself in this difficult world. I see. What place you choose to make yourself remains to be seen. Does, but I am sure that you will not be disappointed. There's the arrogant and sanctimonious Animan that we all know and hate. There he is.
Yes? Oh, yes.
Hey, I was getting worried that Animan would stop being an arrogant, sanctimonious prick after that episode with his father and sister. With that, he started to display some emotions and to almost be, dare I say, relatable. But no, Animan is back to being the arrogant, sanctimonious asshole that we are so used to. Good thing, too, I was getting worried that I might have to have Toby start liking him. And that would just be too strange. If we had to start liking Animan. That would just be too weird. Umar Cave. Wonder what's in there. Let's find out.
Onward
Well,
then.
I see dead people, and I see a treasure chest. So,
Something you need.
Toby, have a look at the chest.
To the task at hand.
Enemy sighted. What enemy
Swords,
is
not
that?
words. Minsk and
Apparently,
and ready.
it's a mimic. Come on. Okay.
How can I help?
That's a lot of paralysis-iness.
Every hamster, jump on my sword while you can, evil. I won't be as gentle.
Ready and able.
And
As you will.
Toby took a lot of damage from that.
Of course.
We're gonna have to have him healed up. But mimics blood, apparently.
I wouldn't dream of
Because that treasure chest was just a mimic, apparently. Which... that actually reminds me of this quite funny Dungeons and Dragons story from an actual tabletop game I played. Also, everyone who's not Toby, rush him.
Ready and...
Am I needed?
Nalia, please lightning bolt.
Incorrectus.
Armored, sharpened, and ready to go.
You will get no second chance.
And down they go. That's a couple of Uber Hulks dealt with. As I was saying,
Name what you want.
that whole thing with the mimic reminds me of this quite amusing story with a mimic in a game of the Dungeons and Dragons tabletop I played over Discord with some friends once. I'll tell you that once Animan is not trying to kill me. Okay, now the story. So, I was playing a mage in this game, and my mage, he just saw this chest and decided that he would check for any sort of magical defenses on it before opening it, as I had a tendency to do, because that was around the time, because at that time I'd been watching a bit of a Let's Play of Baldur's Gate 1, and the person I was watching was playing through Durlag's Tower, so I was rather paranoid about the prospect of getting hit by traps. And so I go on and I do my magical sense for traps on the chest, and that chest, as it so happens, in response for me trying to sense for traps, it just turned into a mimic, shot a giant tongue out at me or something to that effect, and knocked me unconscious. And not only did it knock me unconscious, it knocked me so thoroughly unconscious I was out for the rest of the battle. So yeah. And I literally came within, and this next statement's going to require a bit of explanation because this was a homebrew game. So I'm gonna have to explain my DM's policy in that game for how he handled death and unconsciousness. So when you were unconscious, you would roll for waking up, and 3 successes you wake up, 3 failures you die. But getting a nat 20 counts for 2, and getting a nat 1 also counts for 2, just in the opposite directions, of course. Because one's a crit success, the other's a crit fail. And I literally got within I had 1 failure left to me by the time I actually managed to succeed. So the character who was my character's brother had to essentially throw some smelling salts under my nose to save my ass. And it was quite funny in a rather bizarre kind of way. And that thing with the mimic just sort of reminded me of that.
You battle with pride, Anaman, like one who truly believes his cause.
Yeah, Jaheira's even caught on to how much of a sanctimonious jackass Anaman is.
I must. It is what pushes me forward. Doubt is the enemy.
Those that never question do not see the whole of the issue. The whole issue is not important. There is only the here and now and what can be done within. Your world is small if focused. The more impressive picture is always larger than you can see. Yeah, right. As I've said before, Anaman is an arrogant, sanctimonious jackass. And Toby does not like him.
You need something, stranger?
Who disturbs me? I'm Toby. Who are you? Toby, well, I don't recognize your name. As long as you're not sent by that fool Dar, I'll not object to your presence. And since you ask, I am none other than Jeremy, licensed cowled wizard for this region. So you needn't run off and attempt to report me, boy. What is this thing that you are making? Ah, glad that you asked. This, my friend, is nothing other than a golem of stone. A fine piece of magical craftsmanship, if I do say so myself. Few other mages have made the attempt, you see. This type of golem is quite powerful and dangerous, but I am more than skilled enough to control it. Once it's complete, I'll have an excellent servant, and something to keep an eye on my daughter and that foolhardy beau of hers while I am away. Trouble is, I'm missing one of the crucial ingredients. The blood of a mimic. I'd pay handsomely for some, in fact. You look like the adventurous type. Care to find me some? Yes, Yes, I could certainly do that. We're not going to tell him we're gathering coin to rescue a friend, because he's with the cowled wizards, so that's the sort of thing he might pass on, and if they knew, that would make it that much more difficult. Fine. I wish I could point you in the right direction, but if you do find some, you know where to find me. Off you go then, boy. Well, luckily for you, I have already found it. But first, before I give it over, let's see if we can't speak to his daughter.
Oh, yes.
Hello there.
I love Dar, but Father will have none of it. Now he's making this thing to watch over me when he leaves. This is just terrible. So, does Toby care enough about their relationship issues to not give him the blood of the mimic? There doesn't seem to be anything I can actually do about it. And I suppose, to be honest, it's something that Toby's only sort of considering to be offhandedly important, helping out with their little love issue, because as far as he's concerned, people have love problems everywhere. One more isn't of special importance to him. And as it happens, Jerry boy, I do have some mimic blood. Here you go. Let me have a look at what you have there. Yes, yes, I see. Well done, boy. Well done. Don't know how you found it, but here it is. I took the liberty of digging out that sword earlier, just in case. Rather prophetic of me, don't you think? It was just collecting dust. Dust anyway, so here you go. And well earned, I might add. Now, all I need to do is add this to the golem and he will be complete. Finally, I will be able to leave in peace and be assured that Colette will not be molested while I am gone. We gain 19,000-ish experience and a sword. Mwah! Yes, awake, my creature. Awake and hear my command. Riach. Eh? What is wrong here? No, no, stay back. Back, I command you. Father! Yeah. I have a feeling that did not go to plan.
How can I help?
So, first order of business is actually to let the golem kill him. Or die. We're not particularly bothered about how this goes over. I'm just going to watch. I'll attack the golem with... how can I tell her? I want to tell Nalia to stop attacking. I suppose the way we do that is to unequip all our arrows and the short sword. And I'm going to have
I will do what I can.
Tell her to keep back.
What is it now?
And I'm gonna heal yourself.
Your servant awaits.
Shahira. Heal Toby.
I shall go forth at your command.
Please, let me help. Glad to be of assistance.
Golem is near death, so we'll see if it kills him or if he kills it. Well, that's a dead Jeremiah and our stone golem.
I'm ready for anything.
He's moving to attack, so cast a spell, Nalia. Or it could be utterly unnecessary. Father, oh father, what have you done? Colette, what happened? Here, dear, it was terrible. One of father's creations, it turned on him, and now he's dead. I never meant your father any harm, my love, but his pride killed him in the end. Come, let us away from here and I will protect you in his stead. Alright, I just wish father had... Shush, my love, there is no more that needs to be said. My thanks to you, my lord, whoever you are. Without your aid, the creature would certainly have killed Colette as well. I wish you well. Tiny bit of experience from that. And now we can re-equip Nalia's items.
We continue on our path, and I cannot help but wonder if we walk in balance. I have a role to follow.
A role? Do you mean your role as a druid? As a harper and as a druid, they are complementary, despite bards being thought the harper's standard bearers. We'll seek balance overall. I think I have done so. Sometimes the proper course is hard to see. What is best overall may seem barbaric at first. You will know this when, if, you deal with harpers in the future. Yes, it does sound rather like you do not trust yourself, Jaheira. And I find that to be rather unlike you. The goal is what matters, despite a questionable method. Balance in politics, balance in nature, balance in oneself, all take strong measures to maintain. I think I am the one out of balance, not you. I think many things. I need more time to consider this. I'm afraid you'll have to indulge my silence a time longer. I apologize for interrupting you. That's okay, Jaheira. She has personal issues to work through. I'm sure Toby understands. I don't need a fucking grease spell. But we will have a poke around the place and see if the mage has anything we want. And a few things over to Nalia to be identified to be sold, probably. At a later date, that is. As a lot of these are items we do not need. The arrows +1, on the other hand. Now, we've got a few other things that need our attention. Take a couple of locks and take their gold.
Yes, I wouldn't dream.
Okay, we're done in there now.
Whatever I can do to help.
And it's time to deliver to the mayor the message from the Ogres. And hope that he's not too opposed to such an arrangement. As it's the sort of thing that Toby would really like to see set up.
Just name what you want.
Is there something you need?
Yes, I have spoken to the Ogre Medolf, and I do not believe he or his followers are.
Onward, then.
You point, I punch. Swords, not words. Where Minsk
So
goes,
everyone
evil
else
stands
can just
aside.
head on in. Just so we have the full group in there in case of there being any problems.
Yes? To the task at hand. Mm-hmm. As you
And Toby, and just poke around and see what there is to find. Morella's journal. Oh, well, that's some information worth checking out. I'll have a look in there momentarily. So, a note from Mazzy Fenton.
Just ask. Always willing to try.
So, Nalia can head over to where Toby is and take some of the items he's carrying so we can pick the note up. Clearly the most optimal reason to be doing something like that, right? And we'll take a moment to write spell to our spellbook and learn that the others we can't do that with. So Toby, take the note. And now
something you need.
One in our group.
Ready and able.
Hold that thought. Toby, check in there for me. A couple of items.
Yes.
So for now, our group
I wouldn't dream of refusing.
can reform over here, and then we can read the note in the journal, because I figure we probably want to read that together so that everyone can have the information. Wallag. We travel this day to search out the wolf lair. My own scouting in the region has confirmed Morella's suspicions that there's a large pack of wolves acting in this area. On the map included, I have indicated where I believe the wolf den to be located. Follow us if you can, but be cautious. We can ill afford another mysterious disappearance. Until we meet again, Mazzy. On the same sheet is drawn a crude but effective map, which indicates the path to a forested area several hours north of the Emmonsvale region. Well, that's our location. Now, for her journal. We skip many of the entries of times and places far removed from our current worries. Flames Rule 7. Kage came to visit again, a sweet child eager to learn my ways with the wild creatures. Flame Rule 12. Dark creatures roam the forests. Several townspeople have been slain by some unknown predator. Everyone seems to have their own opinions of what is doing the killing. The strangest thing is that the bodies are disappearing in the morning. This leaves me baffled, for most signs point to a pack of wolves that have been in the area for a long time. Wolves don't steal bodies. Flame Rule 13. Or perhaps I should say wolf-like creatures. At night when I've been patrolling, I've often caught shadowy glimpses of these wolves running alongside me. I've tried to attract their attention, but they ignore me. I find this most strange, as if the pack is being controlled by someone else. Years ago, I spoke with the pack leaders, and they were cordial. Now they either flee from me, or I fear to say this, they stalk me. Flame Rule 21. It is near noon, and still the wood outside my cabin seems full of shadows. I've been hard-pressed to hear birds, and most of the larger animals have long fled. I plan to find the wolf's den this afternoon. I've drawn a map to it. All signs point to them as being the culprits, but what wolves act like these? They are wolves with the cunning of men. And there is something else, a whispering in my mind. It is faint now, in the waking hours, but while I sleep, I dream only of this voice and the face behind it. Whether it is connected to the voices, I do not know. I suspect by the time that the sun sets tonight, I'll have answers to my questions. Well, that's disturbing, to say the least. And we have our directions now. So
Whatever I can do to help.
let's get out of the cabin. These death too many. Well, isn't that a cheery note? So, our hunter friend apparently chased a bunch of angry wolf ghosts up here that have been killing bodies and dragging them off. Isn't this just a pleasant little situation we find ourselves resolving? Isn't this just the best?